Yo, yo, back for a quick review on this XCW 300. Do a comparison with that bike, the 350 XCF, and I'll throw in the WR 250 23 model I rode yesterday. But before I get into the review, kind of just want to talk about why I got into the off road bikes compared to the motocross bikes. Now, I just made this switch like months ago, and I don't think I'll ever go back, to be honest. And I always used to buy motocross bikes. I've had them all, and a few months ago, I'm thinking to myself, like, why do I keep buying these motocross bikes? I sat down, I thought, like, what do I ride the most? And I ride the woods, single tracks, and I like to go exploring with buddies, you know, in the jungle, mountains, whatever you want to call it. I seem to enjoy that much more than motocross nowadays. I used to race motocross back in the day, done it all, did the big crazy jumps, you know, young and dumb. Now I'm getting older and things have changed. And last few times I hit a motocross track, I always left bummed out. I wasn't really hyped up. It's like too much to worry about. That's just what happens when you get older. And like you get landed on. I see these guys getting destroyed. They get landed on, you know, just crazy jumps. Like I just really don't have it in me anymore to do that. I still love watching it, love Supercross, love it all, dirt bikes in general. But it's just this decision was much better. It's way more fun, and the people you meet, and everything else that comes with it. And another thing I didn't like with the moto, you have a motocross bike, you ride it like once a week. If that, if the track's open. Most tracks are open, you know, just on the weekends. It's very rare that some tracks are open during the week. They're out there, but it's very rare. So it just doesn't justify me having a specific motocross bike for it to just sit in the garage when I could have these bikes, go ride whenever I want, and I get more seat time. That's the biggest thing, more seat time. I like to ride multiple times a week, and I'm out riding longer. Motocross track, you go out for 15 minutes, you're practicing, come back, take a break. Like, I just want seat time. It's great exercise. It's just overall a better experience to me. And the scenery alone out in Tennessee and Alabama, it's great. And I have multiple motocross tracks near me within an hour. It's just like I said, like I just leave bummed out. I don't know what it is. I'm just not into it anymore, really. This is just a lot better option for me. So I'm done with that little rant. So let's just get into these bikes, and I'll throw in a WR250. Like I said, I rode that yesterday. So this 300 XCW, 24 model, phenomenal bike. I would have to say this is probably the best trail bike. If you just want to go have fun with your buddies, you don't care about racing, even though you can take this in a hair scrum race. I definitely would too. But just overall, fun factor, 100%. Definitely go buy one if you're on the fence about buying one. Won't be disappointed. It is amazing. I love this bike. And it is smooth. A lot of people say it's slow. I never once thought I needed more power out of a bike. It's totally fine for me. And it's like a gentle giant. Suspension is absolutely amazing. I actually prefer these new forks they put on these off-road bikes for 24 over KYBs. Sounds crazy, don't it? But that's what I feel. I rode a Yamaha yesterday. Felt way better. Had Yamahas in the past. I don't know, these new ones are just phenomenal. Can't go wrong. I really don't have any complaints with this bike whatsoever. The only thing, and this is nitpicking, when you wash the bike, if you look up here, this whole bracket, I wouldn't even say it's a bracket, it's just basically to hold the rear tail light. When you wash it, you'll notice it collects water in here. If you start banging on the fender, a bunch of water comes out. I actually took it off one time, and there's a lot of water in there. That's the only thing I would have to say. Not a big deal, but just know if you have an XCW, that collects water. Brake tip, that's my usual go-to for these KTMs, is just the brake tip, bigger one. I've seen other videos, so you already know that. Super smooth clutch pull. It's just very easy to ride. 300, this thing is like a tractor. It is so good. I love this two-stroke. It is unbelievable. It's just, I can't really say any more about it. Like, it's that good. And it actually, I mean, as much as I'm going on about how good it is, my buddy with the WR250, he wants to buy this off of me, which I'm totally fine with. I don't get attached to my bikes because I'm constantly swapping out bikes. And he wants to make the switch to the KTM. He rode it yesterday, loves it. He likes it better than his Yamaha. And yeah, it's good. You can't go wrong with any of these new bikes. They're all good. Every manufacturer is good, but there's something with these newer KTMs, these wood bikes are just unbelievable. Now, the only thing I've done to this, really, it's all stock. It's just I've set the sag. I cut my handlebars for my liking, and I've pushed the forks up for the tight stuff, sharper steering. That's really about it. Solid bike, can't go wrong. If you want one, grab one. I would prefer this over the XC, definitely. But if you're doing a little bit of motocross and you do trail riding and stuff too, I'd probably get the XC because this has PDS suspension and the XC has linkage. And it has 8 more horsepower, the XC. So like I said, I didn't need more power. This is plenty of fine, it's fast. So, great bike. Now, to the 350. I have a lot of time on this one too. Now, let me reverse this. Most people only could have one bike. So if I had to choose between the 350 and this 300, I'm going to have to go with my 350. Just because this is the Goldilocks of bikes. That's what everyone says, and I'll stick by that. It's the do-it-all bike. So I could take this hare scrambles, get lost in the jungle. I can go to a motocross track. It's the do-it-all bike. The 350 motor package is unbelievable. If you've never ridden one, go try one. I think it's the best motor out there. It cannot be beat. The 450s are way too much. They rip your arms off. I don't believe anyone should be on one. Even the pros say that they're too much power. Most of those bikes are tamed down at the factory riders, so if that's telling you something. I've had 450s. They're just, I don't know. 250Fs are good, but after riding a 350, going back to a 250, it just feels slow. You have to constantly shift, and these just pull way longer, and I like that. And if I want to be lazy, I could lug this thing around in third gear. It does everything. So it's like the Swiss Army knife of dirt bikes right here. That's what that is right there, the Swiss Army knife. Can't go wrong. Love that bike. It's the best bike I ever owned. But if you could have both, it's even better. I would love to have these, both, keep them. But like I said, my buddy's going to buy this one. And I'm going to go try some other bikes. And one thing I do like about the KTM bikes, they hold their value. You get most of your money back. That's what I do like. And they sell fairly quickly. And what I will say now on this WR250, it's the older gen. The new 24s they're all updated. But me personally, I wasn't really a fan of the Yamaha. It's very wide on the shrouds. Like, it felt like I was giving birth, like way, way wide. Did not like that. And the seat to foot peg height, I felt cramped with the bar, everything. I just felt cramped, and I'm only 5'7". If you're like 6 foot, like, you definitely got to make some adjustments. Move your bars forward, lower the foot pegs, get special foot pegs, whatever you got to do. It felt cramped, and I didn't like it. Felt like I was sitting way into the seat, like into the bike. I didn't like that feeling. These bikes they feel a little bit more modern. The seat are a little flatter. You sit more on top of the bike, and everything's more slim up front. It's just a smooth transition all the way back. Your boots don't get hooked up on anything. I just really like it. And I don't like the design of the intake. It's just so loud on the Yamahas. It's so obnoxious loud. It's just, I hated it. Like, it's like you want to wear earplugs. Yamahas are good bikes. I'm not hating, but it's just these things I'm nitpicking on. I've had all these bikes, so I just got to throw it out there. I don't like the design of the intake up front. I know it makes good power, but all these new bikes make good power. So I just don't like the fact that I have to worry about the dirt dropping down into the intake because everything's up top. I don't like that. I much prefer, you know, old school design back here, especially with the easy access. Love that. So just my opinion, I prefer that. It's a much better design. So that's just one of many things I like about the KTMs. And another thing, it just felt slow. I know coming off a 350 and then hopping onto a 250F, obviously it's going to feel slow. But I felt like I'd have to work harder on the 250F than on a 350. So I'm not racing motocross. 350 is the Swiss Army knife, like I said. Hands down. If you've never been on one, find a buddy, ride one, you'll love it. This bike, I've had enough time on it to know this would be my weapon of choice. And I don't know what I'm going to get next. Could get electric bike, Stark Varg. Try one of those, something completely new. Could get a Beta, a Sherco. I don't know. Whatever bike I do get, they won't last long. I usually go through a bunch of bikes. Right now, this is my primary bike. I love this bike. I don't see me getting rid of it anytime soon until the 25s drop, the 25 XCF 350. Then I'll probably buy one and I'll sell this one off to someone and go from there. So, but between then, I'll just keep swapping out different bikes and go from there. I don't know what other bikes. I really don't want another 250F. Like, I don't know. If I do get a 250F to review, it's got to be like a newer bike because I need the resale value. That's the biggest thing. The resale value. I can't buy a Honda 250 or the trail bike version or a KX 250X. All those bikes are a little dated to me, and they'll just sit on Marketplace and you go try to sell them. No one wants them. Like, that's just how everyone wants the new stuff. And that's the same with me. I want the new stuff. Anytime a new bike comes out, a redesigned bike, I want it. And that's it. That's how I am. So I can't, go buy a bike that's just going to sit and it's not going to sell. And I got to take a major loss. So that's why I stick with the new stuff. They hold the resale value, especially the KTMs. I think they hold their value much more than a Japanese bike. I've just had way better luck selling KTM bikes than any other bike. Most of the off-road guys want KTMs. They just put more into these bikes for the off-road. So, but the new Yamahas, they did some updates to their off-road bikes, and I was actually impressed. So you never know. Could just pick one of those up to review it. They're new, and I know if I want to sell it, I'll get the majority of my money back, and it won't sit for a month for sale. So, but that's really it for the review. A little quick discussion. Might just end the video here, and you guys be safe, keep riding, and we'll check you guys out on the next video. And we're going to be looking at some more bikes. See you guys later.